Alright, so I'm down here checking everything for clearance, and I did go ahead and reroute the clutch bleeder line, the remote bleeder, and everything else. Everything looks really good on the passenger side. I don't really see any issues here, but over here on the driver's side, I do have this issue with the, I believe that's a knock sensor wire right there. It's just literally resting right on the primary. And I've got a solution for that I'll show you here in a second. And the other thing is these diagonal brace, sorry for the glare there, these diagonal brace studs coming off the body there. I'm probably going to just cut the bottom one off with a Sawzall. I think that'll probably clear that up no problem. So let's go up top and I'll show you what I've come up with to try to keep that knock sensor wire off of the primary. So I was looking around from the top side here. I think I can actually get you in there to get a pretty good view of this, probably better than I can get myself. So I noticed that boss right there coming off of the block, and when I sight down it from this angle here, you can barely see it. It looks like if I were to just bolt a flat piece of steel onto that, I think it would probably keep that wire off of the primary. So somehow I found a perfect size bolt. At first I would have thought that was a 3/8/16 bolt, but it's not. It's a it's an M10 by 1.5 by 20 random bolt that I found, and then I had some piece of flat stock that I drilled a hole in and cut to length. And so I'm going to try to bolt that thing in place and see if that keeps that wire off of that primary. Alright, so I'm going to start recording from down here, and then I'm going to bolt that thing in from up there, and we'll see if that pulls that wire away from there. I can't really get you in up there to see if it's going to work. Kind of hard to get the light in there. Yeah, there we go, right there. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's gonna work. It's away from it. I don't know. I'd really like it to be heat wrapped, but I'm kind of an idiot and I put the header up in there before trying to plan ahead and see if there was anything I needed to heat wrap before putting it in there. But I think that's gonna work. So yeah, that's great. Alright, so here's a trick that I've had pretty good luck with on taking O2 sensors off. I've got this really crappy big box store 7/8 O2 sensor wrench. Now the problem with these is when you start really torquing them, this is really seized and it's not moving. And this part down here, of course, it's weaker. It's like a line wrench. It wants to just open up. And so what I've had decent luck with in the past is, if I could get this thing to even get on here. You get it on there, and then you get some vice grips, and you just kind of cinch them down, and that'll hopefully prevent that O2 sensor socket from spreading apart when you wrench on it. Now, doesn't always work, but let's see if I can stop this thing from turning. Oh God. Okay, so it was a success that time. So something that might work for you, I don't know. And then you have to get a set of O2 sensor extensions. But on mine, the passenger side reach is just fine without extensions, and so I only need one of these. But boy, once again, I'm really wishing that I would have done something before I installed the headers, and this time it is install these O2 extensions, because that's way up in there. Maybe I'll have to kind of pull that out from up there, install the one end of the extension, and then just drop it down. But that's gonna be tough to do now. Way to plan ahead. Alright, so I was able to fish out the connection from behind the head there. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. There we go. Now I'll just push that back down there, and then I'll try to feed that down from the top. And I'll just find some way to secure that, probably to these clutch lines or something, but check that off the list. The other problem is, my advice to anyone, if you buy a set of used headers and they still have the O2 sensors in them, try to remove the O2 sensors before you have the headers installed, because you just might have to take the things back off and have new bungs welded on. Now, I'm going to try to see if there's some kind of way that I can get an O2 thread chaser, O2 sensor thread chaser or something, or a tap of that thread or something, and see if I can save those bungs. But something in the threads of those bungs is wrecking these things. So that doesn't seem like a good thing. So hopefully there's an easy solution to that without having to take the headers back off. Alright, I got a thread chaser, and I think I've got it started in here pretty good, so let's just take it little by little. It's very hard to do. Alright, I think that's deeper than what the threads of the sensor go, so I think that's probably good. Unbelievable. All it did is just mess this freaking tap up, or whatever you call it, this thread chaser. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay, well, that didn't work. Let's try it with a real tap. See if we have any more success. Okay, we're already stuck. Trying to make sure it's nice and square. It looks pretty good. Sounds like it's cutting a bunch of stuff. All right. There we go. Got a bunch of shit out of there. Okay. Now we can move on. Plenty of anti-seize. Hope that doesn't happen again. Let's see if this thing threads in here easily this time. Alright, very good. I don't have the proper wrench, but I'll just use a 7/8. Cinch it down a little. And then figure out the O2 extension. And then I don't know, I'll have to tuck that up out of the way. So alrighty, check that off the list. Again, plenty of anti-seize and trying to keep it off of that sensor part. And then since I've got a bunch of anti-seize on that, I'm going to try to feed that in there so as not to touch the sides before the threads engage. Success. Okay, that's good enough. And now that connector up there, yeah, see, it reaches on this one. So, no extension needed for this side apparently. Alright, so the headers are installed, the plugs, the plug wires, all that stuff's pretty much finalized on that top here. I just got to do some final things down there and move on with the rest of this, but that's done, so that's a big load off my chest. And sorry if anyone is expecting me to do what literally everyone else does when they install headers and start this thing with no exhaust, but I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. Okay, these are just 3-inch long 3/8 16 bolts. And then I'm going to go ahead and double nut these two. Go ahead and hook up these rear O2 sensors. Doesn't really, it's kind of in the way of the, well, it just doesn't quite reach to go through there, but I think that's going to be fine.